Hi Prepone, I wish your day is fine. If you listened and revised everything in the video of the introduction of poetry last time, and if you can remember all the definitions we mentioned before, then you are ready to start with the first poem for your in this term. As you can see, the first poem is called Day, so this is the title of the poem, and it's written by Sir Cecil Spring Wise, and by the way, he's one of the most important poets, and he wrote a lot of poems for his country and for the children and help them love the world and nature around them. He loves nature all the time. He loves nature more than we can expect. So he wrote all his poem to express his love for nature. He wrote this poem to talk about some of the world's wonderful workers. And to see this idea, we can start with all the stanzas in this poem. We can start with the first poem and we can start with the first stanza. So first we will read the first stanza. As we can see, I'm busy, said the sea. I'm busy, think of me, making continents to be. I'm busy, said the sea. So, do you remember the word stanza? We said a group of lines to express the main or the same idea. So here, in the first stanza, he talked about one idea. He talked about one worker of the nature, and he talked about the sea. Again, we will read it again. I'm busy, said the sea. I'm busy, think of me, making contents to be. I'm busy, said the sea. First, we need to know the meaning of some difficult words. If we have some difficult words, we can see in the third line the word continents. So, to make it clear, continents mean a large land. It's bigger than a country. It's like Asia, Africa, and Europe, like that. So this is the main definition or meaning of the word continents. So if you want to talk about the first stanza, so after the meaning, we can go to the paraphrase. Do you remember I said for you that in the poetry question, you will have a stanza and you will be asked to paraphrase and to extract the figures of speech and to extract the rhyme scheme. So we will start with the paraphrase. We can say that in this stanza, the poet here gives voice to the sea, and he made the sea expresses its feeling. He's saying that the sea is one of the most important workers of the nature, and it's not useless as we can expect, but it's so busy to make his role in nature. It's busy all the time for us to build and to make all the continents and countries and all the land on which we live. So we should respect and appreciate the role that the sea makes for us in our life. So this is the main idea of the first stanza. He's talking about the sea as one of the most important nature worker and his or its important role in our life. So after the paraphrase, we can go to the second point, the figures of speech. So do you remember the figures of speech? It's the way which the poet used to express his feeling, and it's different from our ordinary speech. So we can find some kinds of figures of speech. We can find personification and contrast and order and repetition, alliteration. We mentioned a lot of techniques or a lot of words of figures of speech, but here we will try to extract the figures of speech which he uses in this stanza. So when you go again and read the stanza, you will find that here, I'm busy, said the sea, I'm busy, think of me. Is there something repetition here, repeated here? Yes. So we can see that the word I'm busy is repeated. So I can say that I'm busy here, repetition. Okay. Next point. I'm busy, said the sea. Said the sea. Can the sea speak? Of course not. So he made the sea a person. So I can hear that I can hear you are talking and you are saying that this part is personification, is great. So we said I'm busy, repetition, and said the sea, personification. And last time we said that said the sea, there is something here. We can say that there is order. Yes, great, because in the ordinary way we can say that the sea said, but here he said the sea, so this is order. In the first line we have another rhyme scheme. I'm sorry. In the first line we have another figure of speech. Do you remember the word alliteration? Yeah, try to remember. What does it mean, alliteration? Two words starts with the same sound in the same stanza or in the same line. So sit the sea. Sit starts with the sound sa, and sea starts with the sound sa. So here we can say that there is alliteration. So until now we said I'm busy, repetition, said the sea, personification, said the sea, order, and said the sea, alliteration. And if we want to talk about the rhyme scheme, do you remember what does it mean, rhyme scheme? If you want to answer this part of the question, you can focus on the last sound of each line. So the first sound, it always takes letter A, and if it's the same sound, it will have the same letter. Let's see, let's try. I'm busy, said the sea. So this is the last sound, C, and we wrote A. Me, is it the same sound of C? Me, yes. So we can write A. B, is it the same sound? Yes. So we can write the same letter, A. C, yes, it's the same sound, so we can write the same letter. So the rhyme scheme of this first stanza is A, and that means that all the last sounds are the same. If we want to go to the second stanza, first we will read it. I'm busy, said the rain, when I fall it's not in vain, wait and you will see the grain. I'm busy, said the rain. Again, okay. I'm busy, said the rain, when I fall it's not in vain, wait and you will see the grain. I'm busy, said the rain. So here we said that in the second stanza he will talk about one idea. So if we said that in the first stanza he talked about one of the nature's workers and it was the sea, so here we can say that he is talking about another nature's worker. Can you guess? Yes, you can see the word. He is talking about another nature's worker, which is the rain. So before the paraphrase, I need to, if there is difficult words, okay, let's see. In the second line, we have this word, in vain, and in the third line, we have this word, grain. So what does it mean? The word in vain means without use, like the word useless. And the word grain means seeds of food, like plants such as wheat and rice and corn. So grain is like crops or seeds of food. So we finished the meanings and we can go to the paraphrase. So here, we can go to paraphrase the second stanza and we can say that, do you remember to make a paraphrase? What do you need to do? You need to ask yourself, what does the poet want to say for us in this stanza? Yeah, so in this stanza, the poet is talking about another important worker of the nature. He's talking about the rain. He makes the rain talks about itself. The rain talks about its importance and work it does for us all the time. The rain doesn't fall all the time, but when it falls, all the plants and grains we need grows. So we can't live without rain, and we can't even have our food or life perfect as usual without rain. So here he talked about another nature's worker, and he talked about the rain. After that, we need to go to talk about the figures of speech. So here, if we want to go back to the second stanza, and we need to try to extract the figures of speech by yourself. Read it again. Try to guess what are the figures of speech in the second stanza. By the way, there are a lot of repeated figures of speech from the first stanza. Let's see. Here, I'm busy. Is it repeated? Yes. So we can say that I'm busy. Here there is repetition. Said the rain. Can you remember what we said here in said the sea? We can say it again here. Said the rain. We can say that said the rain, there is order. Yes, great. Can the rain speak? Of course not. So we can say said the rain, there is personification. Yes, great. And we said here that said the rain, there is personification and order. And can you see this word said the rain and here said the rain? So we can say that there is a repetition in this word. So here this is the repeated figures of speech between second stanza and first stanza. But in the second stanza there is some new figures of speech. We can look at the third line. Wait and you will see the grain. So here, can you find two words starts with the same sound? Read it again. You found it? Yes, I'm sure that you found it. Wait and well. Wait and well. Two words starts with the same sound. So what's in here? Yes, alliteration. So we said in the first and second stanza, we said some figures of speech. We said I'm busy, there's personification and repetition. Said the rain, we said personification. Said the rain, again, there's order and there's repetition. Wait and well, there is alliteration. Last point in this stanza, we can go to the rhyme scheme. Focus on the last sound of the line or of each line. Rain and vein. So because rain here is different from sound A, so we will give this line letter B. Rain, vein. Is it the same sound? Yes. We will say B and B. Rain, vein, grain, rain. So all the words have the same sound. So we will give them the same letter. So the rhyme scheme of the second stanza is B, 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 and B. And here, do you know that this poem consists of 5 stanzas? It's a surprise. So let's go to the third stanza. Here we will read first. I'm busy, said the air, blowing here and blowing there, up and down and everywhere. I'm busy, said the air. Let's read it again. I'm busy, said the air, plowing here and plowing there, up and down and everywhere. I'm busy, said the air. So here, this is the third stanza. The poet loves nature all the time. Don't forget this point. The poet loves nature, so he's talking about another important worker, which is very busy and work for us all the time. Here, in this stanza, he's talking about the air. He's saying that the air is always busy for us. He's saying that when the air is blowing here and there, up and down and everywhere, we can breathe and we can't live without air. He's trying to describing how important is the air for us and that we can't live our life normally without the air. So here you can pause the video and you can ask yourself to paraphrase the third stanza by yourself. And when you finished, go with me to the next point, figures of speech. I'm busy, said the air, plowing here and plowing there, up and down and everywhere. I'm busy, said the air. So we will go to the figures of speech. There is some repeated figures of speech. We talked about I'm busy. Yes, this is repetition. Said the air, this is personification. And said the air, there's order. And we can say that there's another figures of speech here, plowing here and plowing there, plowing here and plowing there. Yes, here and there. This is contrast. Yes, great. Two words have the opposite meaning. Plowing and plowing. This is repetition. Yes, great. And by the way, we said that said the air, there is personification and repetition and order. Up and down, two words have the opposite meaning. Yes, you are saying a right answer. This is contrast. Is great. And here we can go to talk about the rhyme scheme. The rhyme scheme here, we will focus on the last letter or the last sound, not the letter, the last sound of each line. Air. So we will have here letter C because it's different from the sound of rain. It's different sound, so we can try B. And different sound of C, we can try A. Here we can say that air, it's a new sound, so we will give this line a new letter. It's a C. Air, there, where, air. Are they the same sound? Yes, great. So we can say that the rhyme scheme here of the third stanza is C, 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 and C. Here, let's go to the fourth stanza. I'm busy, said the sun. All my planets, everyone. No, my work is never done. I'm busy, said the sun. Again, I'm busy, said the sun. All my planets, everyone. No, my work is never done. I'm busy, said the sun. We can go to the fourth stanza and we can remember what does it mean. The word stanza, yeah, a group of lines talk about the same idea or point. So here, the point is talking about the sun and how important and effective it is for us. The sun is not only busy for Earth, it's also busy giving light and heat to everyone on the planet, to every planet on the world. The sun's work is endless. The sun's work is never done, has no end. The sun's work is endless and has no end, and we can't even imagine our life without the sun. Here, he mentioned the importance of the sun as an important worker of the nature. So we can go to the figures of speech. Yeah. Here we can say that the figures of speech, when he talked about the sun, it's the same figures of speech. I'm busy, repetition, yes, great, said the sun, repetition, and personification, and order, yes, great. And is there alliteration in the first line? Yes, yes, there is alliteration because here he said the word set, sun, set, and sun. There is alliteration here. Yes, great. Two words start with the same sound, said and sun. And after that, we can go to the rhyme scheme. Sun, one, done, and sun. This stanza will have a different letter because sun is not the same sound of the third stanza. So sun, it will have letter D, sun, one, done, sun. All the word ends with the same sound, so all the lines have the same letter. So the rhyme scheme of the fourth stanza is D, 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 and D. So if we want to talk about the fifth and the last stanza, here, finally we reach it to the last stanza. In this stanza, we will start to read it first and then talk about the meaning and then paraphrase. Sea and rain and air and sun, here is a fellow taller one whose task will soon be done. Again, sea and rain and air and sun, here is a fellow taller one whose task will soon be done. The poet in this stanza describes himself as a hard-working friend, and he compares his work to the work of all the nature workers. Before the paraphrase, we will need to see some meanings. Here, we can say that the word fellow equal the word friend. The word toiler equal the word worker, especially if you do something hard worker. So let's go to the last stanza again. The word fellow here means friend, and the word toiler means, yes, I can hear you, worker, especially hard work. So let's go to the paraphrase. The poet in this stanza is trying to describe himself as a hard worker, a hard-working friend, and he compares his work to the work of the sea, rain, air, and sun. At the end, he's telling us that humans' work can come to an end, but the work of nature is endless. The work of nature has no end. He's trying to describe how the nature workers are hard workers, and how the work has no end and endless. But our work, our human work, can come to an end, which means that nature workers are hard workers more than us, and they have a very important role in our life. If we want to go to the figures of speech here, so in the first line, can you see alliteration? Yes, we have two words start with the same sound, sea and sun. Yes, great, sea and sun. We can see that the word sea and sun, there is alliteration. Yes, great. And by the way, when we want to talk about the rhyme scheme of the last stanza, there is something different here. Let's see. Sea and rain and air and sun. Here is a fellow taller one whose task will soon be done. Let's see the last sound of the first line. Sun. Did you hear the sound before that? Yes. If we go to the fourth stanza, you will find the same sound. Sun, one, done, sun. And this sound takes the sound D. So the sound here is repeated. Sun, one, and done. So we will see that the sound of the last stanza is the same sound of the fourth stanza, so it will have the same letter. So the rhyme scheme of the fifth and final stanza is D, D, and D. And if we want to say the rhyme scheme of all the poem, we can say that the rhyme scheme of all the poem is A, B, 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 C, 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 D, 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 and D, D, D. And at this point, we can say that we finished the first poem of the first term. I wish everything is clear for you. Next time, wait for me, and I'm waiting for you.